He's perfect. Even worse, I think he's a demon from hell. I have the worst luck when it comes to guys. This guy took over my life with a cup of iced coffee. A year ago, I threw my back out trying to do a death drop. I wasn't even going to post it anywhere. I was just wondering if I could do it. Turns out, like parallel parking or doing my own taxes without having a 5-alarm panic attack, I cannot. He lived next door. And as I recovered, he brought me immaculate trays of food. And this iced coffee that he said would shrink my healing period by a week. And you know what? It did. I couldn't get enough. It smelled like lavender and tasted like world peace. He was a horticulturist by trade and insisted this varietal was grown from a rare coffee cherry that only he and 2 other people on 2 other continents knew about. Bootleg coffee. What a badass. To maximize its healing power, he'd insist on boiling the water to a perfect 206 degrees Fahrenheit, no more, no less. Once brewed, he'd cool it to a precise 39. One time he couldn't find the thermometer and refused to brew a pot without it. I quickly learned it wasn't just the iced coffee. He dialed everything to perfection. He'd take me on dates that were unexpected, yet unfussy. I found the sex otherworldly, yet sincere. Even his sleeping style comprised the perfect ratio of spooning to solo time. It's like he was inside my brain, and for my every whim and preference, he knew the magical degree between too little and far too much. His perfection was perfect. Until we moved in together. The more we poured into each other's lives, the more he cemented himself as the great knower of things. He'd remember my niece's birthdays when he'd never even met them. He knew the causes and consequences of every important revolution in history, even though I never caught him with his nose in a book. One time, he explained to me what the fuck blockchain was in terms I actually understood. And that's when it stopped being fun for me. I woke up every morning greeted by his sterling mind, butted up against my sloppy attempts at existence, my basic bitch of a brain. Plagued by a constant hum of anxiety, I'd lose sleep, and the more I lost sleep, the more he would perk me up with the iced coffee, always with the iced coffee. He was perfect. I was miserable. My therapist, Dr. Hausner, told me I had trouble opening my heart to love, thanks in no small part to my stoic and homophobic parents. Once, when I was 7, they grounded me for a month when I wore pink socks to school. When he was 7, he came out. As he tells it, his parents hugged him tight and threw him a party. The whole neighborhood came. They rented bouncy castles. The local baker made a cake not just colored, but shaped like a rainbow. My therapist, Dr. Hausner, mused, is it possible that I love him and that I loathe him because he represents everything that I am not? It sent chills down my spine. How dare she attack my relationship? How dare she attack me? I promptly left her and vowed never to return. I called my brother. I knew he'd listen. He spends all day in our aunt's basement, so I knew he'd have the time. When I mentioned a throwaway detail, he stopped me. What kind of coffee? He asked. I don't know. Find out, he said. The label just says Griffica. Oh, bro, that's bad. tells me that according to legend, an ancient demon uses a small cherry fruit known as Griffica, or the coffee bean contained therein, to prepare his victims for harvest. I ask him how he knows this. The boards, he says. Granted, my brother tends to fall into some pretty infinite rabbit holes. But still, I found a PDF of a 15th century text. The demon feeds Griffica to its prey to sweeten its brain like a butcher fattens a cow. After a year's time, he collects the brain and eats it. The demon has one eternal quest: to become the most perfect being in all worlds. The more I thought about it, the more it all made sense. Like a saying you find in a fortune cookie that you first ridicule, then you keep in your wallet for years. Why else would his home repair skills, his spider-killing skills, his propensity for leaving cute, life-affirming notes drive me insane? Not because my supposed feelings of inadequacy have left my heart closed to love. Fuck you, Dr. Hausner. He's a demon from hell who feeds me iced coffee so that he can harvest my brain, making himself that much more perfect while I rot away into a nub. There's a line between dreaming up a monster and finding its food in your kitchen. Enough. A year's time. A 1-year anniversary. This was it. Now or never. I had to end him before he ended me. Two words. I just couldn't. That's 3 words. You get it. I told him everything. The ancient text, the rat poison, the brain. A horse brain, he said. For his job, he said. We could call his boss, he said. Maybe. Maybe this all did stem from my inability to carry his perfection. For someone who just learned that his boyfriend tried to kill him, he took it well. He said he's not perfect at all. He reminded me of all the ways he found me perfect. How I pick up stray litter even if I have to chase it down the street. How I cry for tangled reasons whenever I see a zoo animal. How I volunteer on weekends at the hospital, which I admit is just for the free mac and cheese. He suggested we both see Dr. Hausner and ask her how to let a little more imperfection seep into our lives. And for his part, he'd start by putting away the thermometer. Then he looked me in the eyes and said, "We hold each other on pedestals equally tall. We need to hold on to each other for balance." It was honestly the most perfect thing he could have said. He said he'd make us a drink to calm down. Not iced coffee, we had enough of that. A hot toddy sounded like just the thing. The dust seemed to waft down at last. Maybe I'd finally begin to enjoy this relationship. then I saw it.